We'll need a 6-hour documentary for that. But if I had to summarize it, I've been very eclectic my whole musical career, and with my interest in music, started out as a rock and roll drummer when I was a teenager, then quit the band and everybody got mad because I decided I liked Flock of Seagulls and things like that, because my brother was in college and was exposing me to the Psychedelic Furs and music like that. And then I think my dad influenced me a little bit with artists like Sting and more sophisticated music like that. And then I moved out here from Michigan to California and ended up hanging out in the Sunset Strip with all the hair bands. So I was in that hair band phase for a while. Then I went through a Midwestern rock scene, which is funny because I didn't like that when I was younger, living in the Midwest. And then in my mid-20s, I suddenly liked that. And then I got behind the scenes in the music industry and ended up working with lots of different artists. So I've really been influenced by pretty much all forms of music in some way or another, in many ways. So
Very cool, very cool. And did you always sing, or do you also play instruments?
I started out playing drums and slowly picked up guitar, and all the time, even when I was younger, was just always kind of singing, but never really had the confidence to completely do it. And so I would say I was kind of a closet singer for quite a long time, singing even when I was working in the studios with other people. And then slowly, later in age, I started kind of exposing myself out there, and people started liking doing what I do. I think what happened is in the studio, I produced vocals a lot, and I would sometimes sing a part to them. And I had so many people say, "You have a nice voice, you should sing more." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I got the confidence later. Late
Voila.
bloomer. Yeah.
Here's where you're at now.
Yep.
Great, awesome. Now, so through all this career, how did you meet Mikio and become involved in Mountain Castle Band?
I met Mikio through my close friend Paul Ill, who I've known for a long time. Bass player Paul Hill, amazing player. I was working with as an engineer under a producer named Linda Perry, and he was her go-to bass guy at the time, most of the time. So I got to know him, and then eventually I just started befriending him and working on different projects with him. And then he called me one day and said, "I have an old friend who wants to do some music with his brother," and they had him come into the studio, and it all kind of started there.
So, Chris, now that Mountain Castle has reached an international audience, what do you think about that?
I love it because it's exciting because I think there's just so many styles of music out there, and I like reaching a broader audience. And I think it's just kind of a big world out there, and there's lots of people who like lots of different styles of music. And in one area they may not like what we do, but in another area they may love it. So I'm excited about that.
It's wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.